Welcome to another exciting episode of Whoa! I'm your host, GK Brady.
Say that because this is a great angle. Can't say that's a great angle. If I say it's risky.
Shout out to our sponsors. Yeah, I told you. Okay, so first on the list, ladies and gentlemen, is this is a rant session. Today we're gonna be bitching about everything we need to bitch about.
Okay.
First on the list,
today
is as a man, when you are born, you are fuckable, huh?
100%.
You understand that? Yeah, you ain't shit.
Yeah.
And then you continue to be ain't shit throughout high school.
You ain't bad.
Through varsity, you still ain't shit.
Yeah.
And then until you get your first paycheck.
Yeah.
Right? And then you're allowed to take a woman out, and now you can start feeling like
You something.
Yeah.
Which is still not shit because the moment you get there, they compare you to those people up
exactly.
there. Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm sorting myself out and I'm putting everything on the table, right?
Yeah.
And I think we've let it slide for too long. Which when they're allowed to complain about being nothing.
What?
I mean, about us being nothing.
No, yeah, like
Yeah.
I don't think people understand how hard guys are on themselves. Like suicide rate of men being like this, it's not petty shit, bruh. It's not petty shit. Like imagine you hitting 30, 31, 32. Nothing in your life is together, man. And doesn't look like anything's gonna be together. And on top of nothing being together, we're lonely. Like right?
You know what I think the hardest part about that is now? You know what I think the hardest part about that is now? It's not that nothing is together now. It's that I feel like your spirit or your soul, right, knows that you've accomplished a lot, but nobody's there to be like, hey man, you actually accomplished a lot. You know, especially when it comes from women's side, because like they always look at what you don't have. You know, like you get to your 30s, 31, 32, 33, and you actually accomplished a lot. Like you actually,
but it still feels like
but it feels like nothing. Like your soul keeps telling you that, hey man, you wanted to be here, you are here now, but then you don't feel. Nobody's there to be like congrats. Nobody's to be like, hey, here's the respect for what you've earned, for what you went through. You know,
it was a hard year. Congratulations.
That's what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. We can't do that to you.
Yeah.
You don't want to pay.
Cause like I'm thinking, bro, like shit's not that bad.
Pay.
We survived COVID, guys. Like, do you understand?
Yeah.
Like,
a lot of people
we survived COVID. We still have some form of.
Didn't you like have COVID or your dad had COVID? You know, at the time when your dad had COVID, we didn't want to fuck with you. Did we tell you that?
I didn't come around.
You didn't come around.
Yeah, even after, like post this day, like we didn't want to fuck with you.
Yeah, but then everybody got it, so it didn't matter. You didn't get it from me. Because I remember y'all got it amongst yourselves.
What do you mean?
Chepu got it, and then.
Yeah, but that's because.
Then Mac had the flu. He kept saying I had the flu.
Boy, that was a flu.
Nah, bruh.
That was a flu, dog.
Niggas about to kick that bucket, bruh.
That was a flu, dog.
Of course, yeah. So yeah, everybody had.
You're laughing at me, I was dying. Yeah, these niggas.
Nigga, you were so pissed, bro.
Yo.
I was dying, bro. I was dying.
Cara, fui na de paga nesses caras.
Yo.
Mano,
Hey, me vai pedir, né?
Shangin jacket and
Yeah, man.
I feel like, honestly speaking, though, we need. I don't know how we get to a positive platform, right, where people share experiences and then we just start engaging on everyone's experience, learning from each other, and us reminding ourselves that it's possible no matter when. You know what I'm saying? Because like I think the first few days I've been reading, more guys have started coming out being falsely accused
Of rape.
Yeah. Someone else has committed suicide again now.
Because
Another
of
young guy. Yeah.
Oh shit. High school boy?
I don't know if he's in high school.
But he's young.
Yeah, he's young. So I'm like, we are everyone, like generally speaking, we're all in a negative space, bruh.
Yeah.
Except how men feel about women. I don't think there's a man who's sitting on his cell phone writing essays about how trash women are every day. Maybe there is that one few, but they don't come to the forefront.
Yeah.
It's
I think
baboon.
if they blast it like that, it's gonna be
Thing is, women
controversial.
It's not gonna be controversial, bro.
What do you mean by that though? By controversial?
No, like
It's
when
not-
when a chick puts it out there,
Yeah.
it's all supported and shit.
Yeah.
But when a nigga puts it out,
He's gonna get support from. He's gonna get support from the people that feel the same way. Here's the reality of the lovely thing about social media. I think people are able to hide how they feel and who they are in person,
Yeah.
and then behind the screens, when they have a whole avatar set up, you start hearing the true thoughts of a nigga, bro.
Yeah.
You'll start knowing what this guy actually thinks about the post, and you'll know the real person.
Yeah.
Because like if you want to go see real people, go argue with avatars on Twitter, man. Abu Chris Excel, Abu Jan van Potgieter. Right?
Chris Excel is a beast though, man. Shout out to Chris.
Where's Mr. Handsome, guys?
In Chalaka. Dog. The nigga went ghosted. Dog. Probably somebody got him.
Nah.
Somebody got him, but like, nah. Fuck that avatar shit. Ain't no it been the here, boy.
But that's what I'm saying, dog. Like we're all in such a negative space, and it's like everyone you talk to wants to perpetuate that
Yeah, man. And
that negativity, and now it's eating. Like I felt it eating at me as well. I was like, nah, dude. I'm in a bad headspace.
Yeah.
Like even my outlook towards relationships, all of that shit is not
negative.
It's not where it's supposed to be.
Yeah, it's
And
negative.
you can feel it within. I don't know if I'm the only one, but sometimes you feel in your relationship with some things I hate. Like you know when something is wrong, but it's like we didn't do anything to each other, but there's like
Yeah.
just something broken. We don't know
Yeah.
what that is.
Yeah. That one is tough, man. I know. That one's tough.
So how is this life thing,
It's hard being a dude, bro.
right?
I never thought that the outcry from when it started to Me Too movement, from the Me Too movement going forward, I never thought that this would go for this long.
Right?
I thought the Me Too movement was gonna have a purpose and hit
Yeah, and we'll
hard
know, and
towards
then
the
we'll learn.
GBV and the violence in this movement, right?
But it turned into
But then it was like,
an attack on.
we don't want to stop. We know, nah, we're not stopping. I was just like,
no me falls is that.
yeah, dude, like, you know, it's too much now, bro.
Like when last
I'm
were
sure
you
it's-
online seeing anyone saying anything positive about a nigga?
That's not theirs. Let's specify.
Yeah.
That is not theirs. Because of
Anything
course,
positive.
hands who like their dudes will say, my man is the best. We see those. About niggas in general, like heterosexuality in general. Right, like,
Because like I saw this other guy was telling me we was basically sharing some shitty story. Okay, not shitty. Like I was telling him why I don't stop the woman on the road to try and get her numbers or talk to her.
Yeah.
Any of that shit, right? So he was telling me why he stopped as well. His one was like it's fucked up. He went to tavern to go get like you can get a quad. What's that? I'm quad tight, drink yard. He's gotta go chill at home and game and just drink.
okay.
So on his way from there, as he's walking, he sees a dude. I wanna like a girl and dude having an argument. My bum dancer, so I wanna look at.
Yeah.
And I'm going to have good. So the nigga starts screaming at the nigga from far. Diba, we get all okay. I want all of that shit. And the nigga's like, for seconds, when's that? Blah blah. The nigga took one of his bottles.
Yeah.
Then he ran to
Was the guy?
nigga, I want.
Yeah.
So he gets to the situation. It's the de-escalates.
Papa.
As this escalates,
Papa.
he turns around, the guy pushes him, he falls down, and the girl jets. Bang. Leaves the nigga at one. So when the girl jets, the dude gets up, the guy's still beating him at one. While the guy's still dazed, that nigga gets up as well, runs, picks up his bottles, goes home, games. But he knows the chick. So later that day, and this is like, I think this is where the problem is. Later that day, that girl starts complaining about how she survived what just happened.
Oh, it's a her thing now.
Yeah, right. And then her surviving it, she's talking about the toxic shit she's been through in that relationship and whatnot. Then she says that, and then she says, "Amadota is injured."
But there's no acknowledgement.
That's my thing. Like, that
Another
nigga
nigga-
literally just came in and he broke that up. And when your acknowledgement was of the bad shit and you didn't even try,
And they beat him up.
bruh. So I'm like, oh, bruh, why would that stop you from one?
Being courteous, yeah.
And then it's like, I'm first done.
No, 100%. I also stopped that shit.
Oh, it's a flight thing.
Oh, it works now.
I also understand why the guy would come to a conclusion, dog. Because remember, guys fighting guys, man, my life can end. Right? Because guys don't have that limit. I mean, we talk about guys who don't have who don't victimize women. But when a guy is fighting a guy, even if it's of the most petty shit, I can get a scar on my face.
Yeah, like a lot of
This
shit
guy
can
can
happen,
do so
yeah.
much, right? So if I intervene to help you out, and then your story becomes how men are toxic and that moment did not happen for you. Obviously, for me, my interpretation of that encounter with girls is gonna be negative,
Yeah,
though.
it's like shooty flight.
Yeah, because he barely got there. Is that mshanga podlela, dog?
Bruh.
And that was enough. Then I left. It's not like the fight I wanted. I'm like, yeah, stop it. So, dude, I also get to the same conclusion. I would.
So I'm thinking to myself, how many stories like that are really out there? How many times has a guy stepped up and none of that? Like, I feel like if we did start, here's my thing. I wanted to be two people.
Yeah.
I feel like we just should have started name those people. Someone who's fucked
Yeah,
up.
we would.
Name that motherfucker. If you put your hand on a woman, you deserve to be on a database
Yeah.
for people to not associate with you until you said you've got help, until we know
That
that you've got help. But now if you put the whole label on everyone, then anyone just goes up hating for no reason. And it's weird because we complain about stereotypes. Like every time in a neighborhood with too many black people, we're like, yeah, you might get robbed, blah blah. Like that's wrong. That's
when
wrong.
one people do it.
Yeah. And then we're like, but now this
Stereotyping men.
now we're literally doing the same thing. How is that?
I'm telling you, this thing affects minorities more than the white people. It affects the African people more than it does white people. It always has. White girls don't have this shit.
They do have abuse, but it's
They
not,
do have
Yeah,
abuse, but they don't have it like this. They know exactly who it is. They have a way of communicating about it better. That's my opinion. About sticking towards the fact that it's not everybody, but we know who they are. You get what I'm saying? We have just taken something that was very good for women in our country, the Me Too movement, né? And then people took that and made it their own story for no reason at all. Some of them made money off it, which is fucked up because now you are like indignifying men who have never done anything to you, and those who have, you don't want to call out their names. You don't want to point and say, oh, this is the person. Only now maybe a few women are doing that, but to be honest, right, like it's not enough.
Funny how it's easier to, how can I put it, to just blast on a fake accusation than blasting on the actual person that did it.
and it's the
It's a fucked up.
it's the following you get from doing that shit. It's the following you get from doing that shit. So it's like they support each other. Like there's a strong support for hate on men.
Yeah. It's the most favorable way to get followers, though.
And now because of that, it's like there's this mindset of if you're gonna be with a nigga, just try to get everything you can out of him
Yeah.
before it becomes what
Because
it
Get
is.
the best.
he's useless. And
Yeah.
a lot of guys, I feel like a lot of guys feel that way. They feel useless.
Speaking of that, Jet, when did your self-confidence come? Mine took a while, dog. To actually get to the point where I'm like, you know,
Mine came, man, after my first year.
that's 19 years old, bruh.
It took a while as well. It took a while. It came late. Yeah, mine came late.
I don't think mine is still there.
Still waiting for it.
Yeah.
Gotta search, brother. You gotta search. I don't think you know when it. I don't think you can tell when it happened.
You can.
You know.
You know when, you know, when, here's the thing, I think
How did you know yours?
when you stop self-doubting yourself.
Okay, I had a shitload of that.
You see, when you stop doubting yourself entirely, like if you have something you want to do and you just go out and you try and find a way to
Do
make
it.
that shit happen, then you know that, okay, something has
Clicked
started
in.
to click.
Yeah. Y'all niggas better check. Of course, if it was them, it was okay. It came late though. Mine came late.
But like,
But what is that?
where does it come from then? What is it? Because like we try disassociating it with women, and that's not true. You can't disassociate
You
your
can't,
confidence
dude.
from that as well. Like your woman believing in you gives you an insane amount of confidence moving on in life as well. If I'm being honest with you.
Yeah, you know, I always challenge that, right? I remember I had a friend of mine who was telling me that you want to be successful, you need to grow the woman by your side. And I challenged that, and I'm like, what if I'm failing with getting girls? So
Yeah.
I'm going to be poor my whole life.
Yeah.
So I'd say to him, you bullshitting. If you need a woman to get to where you gotta be, that's just you.
Yeah, it's just you.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Don't, like, I don't.
I'm not centering it around
Yeah,
you. I'm saying
yeah.
it's a boon. Like it's a
it's a
boost.
huge boon, dog. Like, to be honest, it's a huge boon when you have somebody. But it's not to say a woman to say, but if somebody
like
you are intimate
somebody,
with,
yeah, anybody
puts you
can
at
be
a high
anybody,
level,
actually,
it's a
yeah.
huge boom, you know? Like, friendships can become a boom, you know? Why do you think the people who have the fashion style, the sense, and the money, they're around niggas who kiss ass? Because of that boom. You know what I mean? Like, there's always, you get booms from those things. My chat has always been that it's not for everybody whether you find the confidence in a woman. Because sometimes the confidence your woman gives you and the lack of confidence you have in yourself can make her confidence, the confidence that she gives you, can make you feel more shitty than before. Because nothing was more painful than having someone who sees you as a top tier person while you see yourself as level 1.
But
But they always see you as top tier. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you don't understand why. You
But
get-
like then you're gonna wanna be around them more and more, which is also I think kind of good as well.
yeah, it's good. But like, imagine if your hand thinks you're smart, but you always feel dumb, right? So you always question, why does she think I'm smart? So you don't have that thing of taking the boom and be like, running with it.
But there is something that can also happen. It's two ways.
Yeah.
If she thinks that you could pick yourself up and actually become the person she sees,
Yeah.
because that's what when you raise a kid, is
What
the
you
most
do.
important thing for you to instill
Yeah.
in those kids is for them to understand that everything they do is of value and that they literally can become whatever they want to be. They just have to
Put in the work.
understand that the world owes you nothing. Like once
Yeah.
you start understanding that nobody owes you nothing, the world, your friends, your family, like nobody owes you anything, and anything that you do get is a blessing.
Yeah.
Then you start moving differently. You start relying on people less. Like if
Yeah.
I ask you to do this and you don't do this, I'm not angry.
Yeah.
I'm not angry. I'm like, okay, it's fine.
Yeah.
Put me down. I'm gonna figure out my shit and do what needs to be done.
What do you think, Molly?
Thing is, I still haven't figured out my confidence levels.
Yeah.
Ngibona ngefro.
Yeah.
Like Ifo should say a lot about me that I still don't see
Yeah.
when she's seeing it. I'm so yeah.
Does that give you like a boost, Nyana, whenever she says it?
Yeah, it does. It does. But maseka vaile and I take the drive back home.
Yeah, you feel like
start thinking what's
yeah, I feel you. Like yeah, you question it because you're like, why? You know? So that's what I'm saying. Like I agree with you, man. It depends on how you interpret it, and for me, I think the most important thing has always been how you also are at that stage in terms of self-confidence, your own self-confidence. I think that's a very important thing. Some people can project it, some people still question it. So it's a hard one, that's what I'm talking about.
So how do young black men get back to being men without... Because I think what the Me Too movement also did, which is kind of positive for guys that we should look at, is it made you take a good look at yourself. A hard good look at yourself and start trying to define yourself.
100%.
But now we trying to define ourselves according to what they think a man should be.
100%.
And we don't have that for them. We do actually.
We do have it, but
they
it's
broke
preference.
it down. They broke it down and they made it preference, and no one gets to decide that for them. But for us, there's a standard you should at least be at to be someone that's going to be in a conversation with another human being.
Yeah. Here's the thing. What's the difference? From my opinion, what's the difference between what we do and what they do? When we have our preferences and what is a woman is, we don't expect every woman to be that.
Right? Yeah.
We don't.
Yeah, true.
We know what type of hand we're looking for. If you are not that, you are not. There's no exception to our rule, right? What they do is that they take pieces of each and every man out there with information and create a dude, and then they circulate that amongst themselves. They throw it out, so almost every hand is the same type of dude they want to be with.
So they have a checklist.
Right? Well, with guys, you'd find that when we say, for example, right, when we talk about beauty, guys will be like, she's, right? But when you ask the guy what's attractive, you'd find that we don't have the same type of definition when it comes to that. Well, with Hans, when she says my man must be handsome, when you ask what's handsome, it's one thing.
It's one thing.
But it differs. Some would say tall,
some of them would say tall,
like,
dark, and everything. Yeah, but
majority
here's a common one: tall and being dark and a beard. Now, like you see those three, they are very, very much common. Dog. If you are light skinned, my man, now I are going up there. You know. But there was a time. Remember in high school? There was a time in high school where light skinned dudes were the shit. Remember?
Yeah. No,
just because you guys were born light.
Yeah,
remember?
I didn't really flow it that way because
yeah, but there was a wave.
There
was a wave, you know.
There was
a wave where slim chicks were the shit and the thick girls were not, right? Yeah. So I think that for me, the difference is that the way we make use of that preference and the way they do, right? And to answer your question about what the young black men do, in my opinion, man, stay away from hands. I'm not saying be gay. I'm not saying there's nothing wrong. There's something wrong with being gay. I'm not saying that, okay? I'm saying that stop looking for validity. Validation in hands and social media, like those two. Stop looking for that validation in hands and social media. That way, I feel like that will break you down more than it will build you.
You have peace.
Yeah, you'll have peace. Like you can question yourself and develop yourself the way you want to.
Actually, Mina, honestly speaking, if I had listened, if our parents were able to explain why we shouldn't date properly and sit us down and have a talk to us and tell us the real realities of, we know you're gonna develop needs, you're gonna develop that, but all of those things, if you work hard enough while you're still young and push everything you need to do, by the time those needs become like your manly needs become have a strong hold in your life, you'll have a partner who's quelling those and making sure that they're in check the whole time. And by that time you're gonna have a lot more shit figured out. Because I'm like, I can easily point out years of my life that were spent in doubt, anger, mistrust, all of that, because of trying to heal from shit I shouldn't be healing from.
Let's go.
Like we should be healing. We should be drinking ourselves over failed deals and
Not hands.
Yeah, we should be stressing ourselves about things that are holding us back in life and stuff like
Not
that.
hands,
So,
yeah.
so I'm like, had I known better,
The outcome would
the
be different.
reality of everything properly, I definitely,
But you think that's the area where we all make mistakes? I think all of us are kind of like in that situation now.
What is the most stressful part about varsity?
Huh?
What is
the hands?
That's what I'm saying.
That's facts. The hands. The most dramatic moments come from hands, and attempted relationships that didn't work out.
And things someone said to you. A lot, because like they break
no.
down who you are to what they want, and then even when the relationship
Oh,
fails, you still want to become that version.
Of that they
Yeah,
wanted you
that
to
they
be,
wanted to be.
because you feel like if
Maybe
I am that version,
I'm gonna be
something to
yeah,
somebody.
exactly.
That nah.
That's my thing. So now you lose out on yourself, because like there's nothing worse than trying to be something that isn't you.
Yeah.
You don't know how to operate within that stratosphere.
Yeah.
You're not gonna know how to be yourself in that place.
Hey man, but the heart wants what it wants, dog. And the dick does too. So it's a toughie one, boy. It's a
Because
tough
like
one.
I'm trying to figure out, like, let's say I was gonna give you, say they're just gonna give you 50 more,
Yeah.
right? Like right now, off the bat, 50 more.
Yeah.
Nah, yeah, do you think you're actually gonna be happy? I would.
Right now, yeah. Right now.
For how long?
I think for a long time, until I die. Are you talking about what I would do with it in terms of me?
Nah,
Like,
I'm just trying to figure out is the only thing lacking from you
it's
right
money.
now. Yeah.
Oh hell no. I'm not gonna be happy because of that. Like no, there's still more interpersonal issues I have with myself that I'm still fixing. So the money will just supplement for the poverty and the financial freedom, but I'll still be the same me. Whatever makes me break will still make me break with 50 million. So yeah.
If you were single and you had that kind of money, what would happen when it comes to picking girls?
Dog, vengeance. Yo, vengeance, dog. I don't have a good heart, boy.
At least
I
you're
think
honest.
God is making me poor on purpose.
So to fix
Just
yourself.
pushing
yeah.
P.
Just for you to fix
Yeah, he's
yourself.
pushing P. I'm telling you, God is pushing P on my life, dog. He's making me poor on
Nah,
purpose.
I don't think so.
He's
You
pushing
know,
P.
I've heard that before, like people saying God in me, God in me.
Yeah.
Like, but
don't you think
your
it's not your
decisions-
time yet?
No,
Yeah.
that's my thing. You know, the reality of life is 100% of your life outcome is 100% of your choice.
Yeah.
Like, let's say you wound up in an accident, right? And then the accident wasn't your fault.
Yeah.
Most people are going to focus on that key area. The accident wasn't my fault. But now if you take steps backwards as to where you were supposed to be that day, what you were supposed to be doing on that day, yeah, you start figuring out, like, everything that goes wrong in your life. If you take steps backwards to find and go to the root of where the first,
Yeah.
like, because you always know.
Mm.
It always starts with the to just go do this, and you inside you're like, I ain't finna go do that today.
Yeah.
But then your homie up shoot, okay, now that, and then some shit goes down. You'll never go back to that gut feeling I had as a
Yeah.
correct feeling
Yeah.
at the time.
Mm.
And this is where I'm going with.
Isn't that like your situation?
Yeah, it is definitely mine.
What situation is this?
When you had the accident?
Oh, when you had the accident at that time. Okay.
That's
Wow.
cool.
What? Am I supposed to say the car?
Nah, it's okay.
Yeah, though. Who's that nigga? I don't know him. Who is he? Is he important to you? He's your friend. Oh, boy.
He is my friend, bruh. What do you mean?
What's his name?
Nah.
He's your friend. Are you guys close like that? You guys have a good relationship?
I'd say we're good.
Yeah. Equal.
So yeah, what I'm saying is.
Hey, that bad. We're good.